What's up, everyone? This is going to be our Mayans Season 4, Episode 10 finale review here on Rants. This was, wow. I mean, what can I even say about this episode? This was the finale that this show needed for this season. It started off with such great potential, and I felt like the first two episodes were really lacking. It got better, a lot of unexpected deaths, with it be Coco or, just a lot. Even Manny, like I was shocked by the death of Manny, but it is what it is. I mean, I've always said this. I like shows that make you feel, and I feel like we've got that. I felt like, we got that first blow when it come to Coco, really having that relationship with Hope, turning the corner only to die. And I felt like that pulled at my heartstrings. And I love shows that do that. I love shows that can pull that off. I did complain that maybe I thought it was a little bit too quick. But hey, you know what? I think the payoff at the very end actually turned out to be a beautiful thing by the way Letty and Hope have come together. So I feel like, Coco's death wasn't a waste. It wasn't there just for shock value. It actually had some meaning behind it. And I think it was, one of the things that really set Easy down this path of no return. Now, Easy, this is the thing about Easy, especially in this episode, that really kind of bothered me. Easy has been going down this path of self-loathing for a while. And one can say, well, he's like the Thanos of the Mayans MC world. He is the guy that feels like he has to do the things that others won't do, make the hard choices that others won't do. And I feel like that's a very good comparison in a lot of ways because it's really the exact same mindset. It's, believing that only he has the power to, make these changes necessary. I mean, we started this season with Bishop being in charge, Bishop being displaced, and really Easy kind of just throwing him down, and in some cases beating him up, only to then betray him again, and have him where that, he could take over and be president of the Mayans Club, which and take it from Alvarez. I personally thought that moment was it was hard to watch. I've watched Alvarez when it comes to Mayans and Sons of Anarchy back in the day. He's always been one of my favorite. Well, he was a villain back then, but I always loved his character. And I was kind of hoping that in that moment we would see a little bit more pushback than what we got. We did get a little bit, so I won't say it was like a wasted moment by any stretch of the imagination. It was another moment that, like I said before, it pulled at my heartstrings. It made me think that it's the end of an era and the start of something new, something more brutal. And that is what this episode was really all about. It's the destruction of all the good that is in Easy, and the good that is in the club, and really just enjoying the rot that is within now. That is what this is. It's a sign of no return, basically. And I think we saw that with Easy this episode. I think we've seen that with Adelita as well. There's no return from what they've done. Emily as well. You can say Galindo. No return for these people. They are now forever villains in the eyes of Mayans fans. Even though a lot of people are going to love Easy, and they're still going to be huge fans of them, which I am. I will say this, you're still going to realize that he is the villain of the story now. And hey, I got no problems with that. But anyways, let's get into Montez's death being revealed to Alvarez by Tig. We finally got that Tig, uh, uh, you know, uh, clip that we've been waiting for, that we saw in previews, that we knew was coming, and we finally got to see it. I was so excited to get to see him. I wish we'd have got to see more of him, though we did get some really cool scenes with him. I really thought he was going to kill that member that really started this war to begin with. That was an awesome moment, and it was just nostalgic Tig. It is it is brutal, crazy, not knowing what he's gonna do moment. I love that. I love that. I cannot wait until next season when we get to see maybe more of him, because we know that we're not going to be seeing Chips from this point on. So it's going to be Tig. It's going to be Tig, and we're going to get to see actually what he is made of as a leader and maybe as a villain. So that's going to be actually kind of cool. Um, but I'm glad that Tig was the one that really revealed Montez's death to Alvarez. It's almost kind of shocking that it made it this long without Alvarez really knowing what they were at war about. You know, he thought it was because they were encroaching upon their land, and actually it was always about Montez's death. You know, I almost kind of feel like it was kind of a stupid war to begin with. I mean, if the other side doesn't even know what you're killing them for, I mean, what's the point of revenge at that point? But it is what it is. Maybe it kind of lessen the war a bit in my eyes, simply because that it's taken so long for Alvarez and the Mayans to understand what they were at war for. But at the end of the day, I'm glad they finally got it out of the way. I was shocked that we didn't get to see Nestor out Jess in this episode. He clearly saw that she was up to something, and something big. There's going to be, look, she's going to die next season. She's going to die, and Nestor's going to be the one that outs her, and he's probably going to out her to Alvarez. And it's just a matter of whether or not Alvarez has it in him enough to go and try to, you know, tell the club, hey, you got to stitch within, and everyone's gonna die because of this woman. Uh, or will he just say, you know what, screw it, y'all cast me to the side. This is the choice I made. Y'all wanted war, you know. This is the bed that you made. Go lie in it. And I'm curious to see what that choice is going to be, and whether and what direction he's going to take. Even though I bet without a doubt he's going to go down trying to save them, even if it costs him his own life. Which is going to be interesting, because you know what? It's going to be a moment where we're going to see Easy taking the hard road and making mistakes and paying for it, and everyone that he loves paying for it. Just like what we got to see when it come to Jax back in the day with Sons of Anarchy, we're going to see the same thing with Easy. And it's just a shame that Alvarez and all these others like Bishop, Hank, all of them, Creeper especially, are going to be the ones that has to pay for it. I really hope that next season that we get to see maybe Creeper, you know, playing a bigger role. But now that he's confessed to all these crimes and's taken it really upon himself to really take these crimes upon himself and to face the consequences of them. I don't know if Creeper is going to be the guy that's going to be able to out Easy to the club. And that's going to be a shame. That's going to be a shame. I can really see a moment where Creeper dies in prison on the on simply on the orders of Easy to keep him quiet. I really believe that that could actually be the case. I think Creeper's going to learn who that rat is, and I think that's going to be unfortunately his fate, and that is going to be a tragic fate. But unfortunately, it'll be next season as well, so we won't get to see that anytime soon. But as far as this episode, it has some really powerful moments, but it also has some moments that I felt like could have been better. I felt like the Easy and Sophia attack was really uneventful in a lot of ways. I thought El Banquero was killed too easily by Adelita. I thought that was something that really could have been more brutal and more, where one cartel is trying to really take control of that, where we get to see a little bit more blood. I thought we were probably going to get to see the death of Adelita, but unfortunately, we just get to see her as really this mercenary that goes in there and just does what is needed to be done, for really her baby in a lot of different ways. And she's unfortunately going to be the sacrificial lamb. And I can see that coming. I really thought that was going to happen this season. I thought she was going to either bail or be killed, and leaving Angel stuck with this baby by himself. It's kind of interesting to see if maybe we're going to see Angel's father in next season, or did Galindo kill him? That was kind of left. That was kind of left out there a little bit. Now I'm curious to see exactly how that's going to take place. But like I said, the two things that I hated was El Banquero's death and Easy and Sophia's attack, because I'm like, they had Easy and Sophia at point blank range and they still missed. Like how does that even happen? I wanted to at least see some blood in that. Like besides them, I wanted to see, Easy getting wounded, or Sophia getting wounded, or somebody getting wounded, where that maybe we get to see the rage of Easy, instead of just this, I don't know, nonchalant murdering that he does. I want to see some rage from him. I don't want to see this really cold blooded murdering that he does. I want to see some soul. I want to see some some conflicting contradictions with him. And unfortunately, we've just got this soulless being that is Easy now. And I felt like that could have been done a little bit better. But like I mentioned earlier, Letty and Hope having that beautiful moment. Hope uh, has been one of my favorite characters on this show. This season and even part of last season. I felt like, she was a great addition. I thought her and Coco's love story was something that I really got into. And it was probably one of the more reasons why, or better reasons why, I hated for Coco's demise. Not that I loved Coco as a character. I kind of felt like last season became kind of, dispensable in a lot of different ways. But I felt like their love story was something, it was a redemption love story. And I love that. I love those. I'll admit, I still fall for those. Even though I've seen them a million times, they're still just as good as what they were first time I ever saw it. But I like that Letty and Hope are coming together. I like that Letty is now taking over that role, and she's like, "Hey, you know what? You're all that my father. You're the only thing of my father that I have left." And they can, mourn together, and they can grow together, and they can just be, I don't know, great characters like both of them actually are. And I think that's going to make for a better season next season, is having those two back in there together. Um, but I will say this probably, I've talked about these powerful moments. And I've talked about the moments that's hurt. Manny's death kind of was a little bit unexpected to me. I didn't think that he would die, and they actually did it. They actually killed him, and he was a great character that I felt like has died a little bit too soon, and it was brutal. It was the most brutal thing I've seen since Tig's girl died. Like, that was back in Sons of Anarchy back in the day. That was as brutal as that. Getting to see him talk about his daughter, getting to him talking about how, he's going to kill that guy in the afterlife for making his daughter cry which that was just heartbreaking in itself. But it is what it is. Like I said, all great shows pull at that heartstrings, and I felt like this episode did a great job of it. We finally get to see Easy making, really taking care of these loose ends too as well. And I felt like Manny was going to. I really thought Manny was going to be the one that was going to be somebody that was going to turn on Easy, and unfortunately, that's not the case. So all that was left was JJ. And man, was that a cold blooded kill right there. That was cold blooded. Giving the man a choice of suicide or or killing him. Giving him a choice of, hey, if you kill yourself, I'll give your family what was it, $80,000 or something like that. It was a lot of money, or 800,000. It was a lot of money, and that was just cold. That was cold. I mean, I'm still stunned by it. I really am. Um, that to me was one of those moments that felt like the no return moment. You just took a man away from his daughters. You just did something that maybe JJ didn't have that feel that, no one cared about him really, but it still was one of those heartless moments that only a villain can do. So I feel like at this point there's no turning back for Easy, and I'm just curious about how many more seasons they can go with this. It hasn't been renewed for season 5 yet, but it will. It'll be renewed for season 5, and hey, if we go 2 more seasons of this show, and we've got Easy as the main villain, I mean that's going to be absolutely just crazy. And the Ezekiel-Angel story. I mean, we finally get this Easy versus Angel. Easy making his threat to Angel, and we knew that was coming. You could see that all season long, how the roles just completely and totally reversed after the death of Gabby. Uh, you know, you know, you, I really thought we were going to see Angel dying this season. But instead, we got to see a renewed Angel, an Angel that actually wants to live, actually wants to be better than what his father was, what Easy is. He wants to, have this renewed sense of life. And he wants to get his child out of this. He wants to have a relationship with Adelita. He wants to start a family. I thought that was going to be easy. I thought that was going to be like sure seemed that way, man. At the beginning of the season, it seemed like Easy was just wanting to kind of take, he was wanting to do the right thing, and instead he turned out being the villain of the season, and that's just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. The part that he would kill the woman he loves, but then turn right back around after he does this to save his brother. He then turns right back around and is like, now I will threaten to kill my brother. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. And I don't know if I like that. I personally think that that's kind of bad writing, because I'm like, he made all those sacrifices to save his brother. He did that to save the ones that he loves. Just to turn right back around and threaten them, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't like it. I wish that this wasn't a route they were going down, even though I really like the parallels that they're doing with Angel and Easy. I wanted them to have conflicts, but I didn't expect it to turn so quickly with Easy just being like, you know what? It's not about you anymore. I killed Gabby because I'm just a heartless SOB. And, I thought I was doing it for you, but hey, at the end of the day, I want power more than I want you. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy that we're getting this from Easy right now. And it was just like on a turn on a dime. And I mean, it happened in about 2 episodes. And hey, I kind of felt that way when it come to Daenerys Targaryen. I kind of felt like, man, you can't have a turn that quick and really make it where it's plausible, but where it feels right. And I'm kind of that way with Easy right now. I feel like it's a turn that maybe needed to happen, but it's not a turn. It's a turn that happened too quick. At least for me, it happened too quick. But at the end of the day, probably the lasting impression of this episode will be Creeper making the ultimate sacrifice. Really, basically turning down the woman that he loves, and turning down, all of this, being free from this, all this heartache and all this pain, and instead just putting it all on his shoulders. And I thought and I thought, when you talk about parallels, you had at the very end, you had Easy making this statement to the club that, hey, if I have to put y'all all on my back and, pull y'all over to victory, I'm going to do it. I'll do whatever is necessary. But it's not Easy that's doing it. It's actually Creeper that's doing it. And that is, I don't know, it almost kind of lessened that moment with Easy because it made you realize that, hey, this is a dude that's doing this for power's sake. This isn't a dude that's doing it for the best interests of the club. And to me, it just shows what we saw from the very beginning, from episode 1, season 1, where that Easy is an outsider to the club and he really truly doesn't care about the club. He only cares about, whether it be his brother or whether it be, right now, power or revenge or whatever. It just feels like that in a lot of different ways. But he feels like an outsider, where Creeper feels like somebody that is willing to just do whatever's necessary to protect the club. And that was a beautiful moment, I thought. Even though it was heartbreaking, even though it was sad, getting to see, his girlfriend crying, telling him, "Hey, stop admitting to all these crimes. You're supposed to write on the club, not on yourself like that." But I mean, that's talking. That's really taking it. Having everybody latch on to you and pulling them, across the finish line. And that's what Creeper did. And unfortunately, that's not what Easy's doing. He's leading them down a path of suicide where Creeper is trying to save them. And that's basically my review. I mean, I thought it was a good season. I thought it was a good finale. I really thought it ended strong. Um, and it's just like what season 3 did. Season 3 left us wanting more. Season 4 left us the exact same way. And hey, you know what? That's what makes a good story, whether it be a book or a show or a movie or whatever. It's wanting us to see more of it. The feeling like, hey, we've got to the most interesting part. I want to see more, and I hate to have to wait another year to see it. But hey, that's the beauty of this show, is it gets better and better and better. And so, as always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content here on Rants, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all take care.